Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in Server Administering series. In the last video we have talked about the concepts of right delegation in Active Directory users and computers. In this video, we're going to review how you can use the delegation of control wizard to grant a user administrative rights to just part of the Active Directory domain, effectively creating a container administrator. Let's open up Active Directory users and computers on this system. This is my domain controller DC1. It's a domain controller for the dev.com domain. If I expand my dev.com here, in Active Directory users and computers, and go to my United States organizational unit, then go into Sales organizational unit, and then go into users, you'll see a whole list of users here, as well. And if you go to my groups OU here, you can see a couple of groups that are used to manage users in the sales department of my United States site. If I go back to sales groups, notice that I do have one group, right here, named Sales Admin. What I want to do is configure Sales Admin such that this group is allowed to manage the sales container right here in the United States office. But I do not want the Sales Admin group to be able to manage the research office, nor do I want them to be able to manage any office in the India location for my organization, just sales in New York City. If we double-click on Sales Admin and I go to the Members tab, you can see that I've added the Bob Marshall user as a member of the Sales Admin group, and Bob Marshall is located right here, inside of the user's container, within Sales. You might be wondering, why are we using a group to delegate administration? Why not just delegate those rights to the Bob Marshall user directly? It's just about efficiency. By delegating administrative control to a group, those rights will flow down to whatever user is a member of that group. Right now, it's Bob Marshall. It's really useful to use groups instead of specific users because if I were to get a different job, if I were to get promoted, or something like that, and no longer have the sales admin role in this organization, all I would have to do is grab a different user who is now going to be the sales admin and make them members of the sales admin group, and they automatically have all the rights they need as soon as I click OK. I don't have to go through and manually reconfigure the delegation of control wizard for a different user account. We have a couple of options for granting sales admin administrative control to the sales organizational unit, right here. One option would be just to make sales admin a member of the domain admins group. I could come into sales, go to member of, click add, and enter in domain admins. Will that work? Yep, it will. Is it the right thing to do? No, it is not. Why? Because domain admins have complete administrative control to the entire domain. Basically, this would grant my sales admin group too much access. This violates the principle of least privilege. The idea behind the principle of least privilege is that a given user should have the access necessary to complete whatever job role they have, but no more. Remember, we said earlier that we do not want sales admin to be able to manage anything in the India location or any other location within United States, just sales. If we make sales admin a member of the domain admins group, they can have access to any part of the domain they want. We don't want that. So the first option really isn't a good idea. Will it work? Yes. Is it a good thing to do? No. A better option is to use the delegation of control wizard to grant the sales admin group administrative control over just part of the domain, in this case, just the sales organizational unit. Let's take a look at how this is done. I'll right-click on Sales, and I'll click on Delegate Control. Click Next on the welcome screen. Now we need to specify which user or group we're going to delegate control to. Click Add, and let's type in Sales Users. Click Next. Now we have to decide which task we want to delegate to this group for this particular container, Sales. Notice there are lots of different tasks that we can delegate: create, delete, manage user accounts, reset passwords, view information, create, delete, and manage groups. One option would be to go through here and pick individual tasks that we want this group to be able to perform. I want to give them access to everything. So select Custom option down here, click Next, and then make sure that this option, right here, is selected: delegate control of this folder, existing objects in this folder, and the creation of new objects in this folder, the sales organizational unit. That basically gives the sales admin group complete control over the sales organizational unit. They can, pretty much, do anything they want inside of Sales. I'll click Next. Now we need to decide which permissions we want to grant. We want them to be able to do anything inside of this context, inside of Sales, so let's just grant them full control. Click Next. Finish. Now Sales Admin is the container administrator for the Sales organizational unit. Remember that Bob Marshall user, my user account, right here, is a member of Sales Admin. Therefore, my Bob Marshall user should be able to go into Sales and make changes, but not be able to make changes anywhere else in the domain. So that's how you can delegate the rights to a user or a group in Active Directory users and computers. That's it for this video. In this video, we talked about how to use the delegation of control wizard to grant a particular Active Directory user administrative rights to just part of the Active Directory domain. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel.